because when I start to turn, that helps the club go up. So if I'm just turning my body, the club actually works up. If it runs up my hand like this and I go through, you can see that club really didn't go up at all. It stayed down low to the ground. So if it's across here and I rotate back, boom, the club's going up. I don't have to lift the club up. So that's important. The other thing is in your trail hand. So your this is your lead hand, the one closest to the target. Your trail hand is your power hand. So if you're a right-handed golfer, your right hand is your trail hand, it's your power hand. So we're going to make sure we get this in the fingertips. We don't want this down on the base of the fingers. We want this in the fingertips and rolled over here. So you can see my palms are facing each other. Here's a good way to do this. If you put your hands right out in front of you, see how my thumbs are pointed out? I'm going to curl my fingers up, curl my fingers up. Now, if I put this hand on there, and I put this hand on here, my palms are facing one another. So now I have a nice square club face. So square means it's not closed and it's not open. So if it's open, it's facing the sky. If it's closed, it's facing the ground. So right here, the toe of the club is pointed up. And I'm going to actually grab my putter to kind of give you a better idea of what this is like. So that's a nice square. Once again, it's not shut. It's not open. The club face tells the golf ball where to go. With an iron, 75% of direction it starts off on has to do with the club face. With a driver, it's 85%. So it's kind of important to be able to control your club face. So you can see how much I can move that with just moving my hands right there. So now, if I got a real weak grip, I can't really turn that over very far. Or if I got a real strong grip, I may turn it over too much. Make sure you have a good solid grip. Next thing we'll do is talk about how do we move the club. And I got a good old handy dandy basketball here. I borrowed it from my son. I didn't steal it from him. I borrowed it because if I stole his basketball, he would not be happy with me. So you can get a ball at home. This is pretty simple. I get set up with my hands like this. Hands are on the side of the ball. Arms and hands down, and I turn my body. I don't move my arms because you see, I can't move it back very far if I just move my arms. Matter of fact, I want you to watch where my head goes when I just move my arms. My head went forward. I don't want my head going forward when I swing a golf club. So, and you can see the wall back behind me there. That's as far as it's going right there if I just move my arms. Now, if I turn my torso here back to the right, see how much further I can get back? Man, that's a lot of power that I have stored up right there. So work on this turn. Once again, if I move my arms, see how the ball went behind me? If I just move my arms, it's behind me now. Now, how in the world can I make a straight path to the target from here? I'm going to have to come out and over. So I just want to be able to turn back, and then I can come right back down. Turn back. See how my hands are on the side now? Right back down. This is something all of you should practice. This is going to help your takeaway get so much more solid. So if we start back on a good position, it makes it so much easier to bring the club right back down to the back of the ball and hit it straight. Obviously, that's what we want. So you can see if I'm starting here and I turn back and I bring it right back down, bam, it's going right at the camera. Once again, turn back, bring it right back down, right at the camera. If I move my arms and I go way back here and I come through, now I'm going way out there. Well, that's not at the camera. That's definitely not going to be at the target. So a simple ball like this can really help improve your swing, your golf game, and get you feeling what you're supposed to be doing. Because if you're taking it way back inside, you're going to have to loop it out and over to get back to the ball to hit it relatively towards your target. And that's a lot of extra movement, a lot of extra compensations. It makes it pretty daggone hard to play this game very well. So, I think I wore myself out pretty good there already. That's what happens when you get super old. Don't get old. And actually, if you're going to get old, make sure you work out. That way you can huff and puff like I've been doing. So one of the other things we'll talk about, and this is something I was talking with one of the other classes with the other day. I can't even see this on the camera. My wife bought a new mat out here, and it's kind of hiding my thing here. So when I get to impact, see if we can see the blue ball here a little bit easier. So this is something we can all work on. The idea is we want the handle to actually go past the ball before the club head hits it. So when we come into impact, the hands go past the ball, then the club head makes contact. You can see that here. As I swing through, my hands are past it, and the shaft is leaning forward. So that means when I actually hit the golf ball, when I make contact, because the face is flatter, the ball's actually going to flatten against the club face, and then it's going to spring off. Well, if you come through and the club head passes the handle, well, what is that ball going to flatten against? Because it's just going to skip off the back here, pop straight up in the air, and not go very far. So if you're trying to hit the ball farther and more solid, you got to make sure the handle is leaning forward at impact. So one of the best drills for us to do that with is figure the position here, and I rotate forward. This rotate forward, the handle rotates forward. You can see how this shaft is actually leaning forward more now. So if I can get to this position, now I'm going to take a little swing back and try to get back down to that same position and hit a ball. So if you can do that, get one of my little red balls over here. See if I can hit it into the neighbor's yard. I'm not sure if they're over there grilling out. So if I can start here with this leaning forward and just go back, boom, and just come through, get my chair over here. So that can start working on impact. If your impact is good, you have a chance to hit good solid shots. But if you come down, instead of the hands leading the club head passes the hands, you're going to tend to go right underneath that ball, and it's going to pop up and not go very far. And that's not much fun. We want to hit the ball a long way. I don't know of any golfer out there who wants to hit the ball shorter. Any of you guys want to hit it shorter? I doubt it. It's a lot more fun to hit it a long way. Reach par 5, hit it in 2. Okay. So this week we've been doing trivia, but we're talking about the rules. So we're going to talk about tee box trivia. So what we're going to do is I need you to raise your hand, and Daniel's going to call on you, and you get to answer the question. This is all about the tee box. So let me drop this. Whoop, let me drop this guy back down here. All right. So how do I know where to tee off on a tee box? Well, usually there's 2 things down, and these things are called what? You guys should be able to answer these in 2 seconds. What are these called? Anybody? Anybody out there? Anybody listening?
Bo, you raised your hand.
Are those orange things just called tee markers?
Those are our tee markers. Okay. All right, next question. Somebody else needs to answer this now. How many club lengths can I go behind my tee markers?
2.
2. Good answer, good answer. So that 2 club lengths makes an imaginary rectangle. True or false? I have to stand inside that imaginary rectangle to hit the ball.
True.
False.
False.
Okay, answer is false. I do not have to stand in the rectangle. Only the ball has to be in that imaginary rectangle. So it's important to know that. So, you know, this may be the best angle for me to hit the ball from over here on the left. So I'm going to be standing outside of that rectangle, but my ball is going to be teed up right there. I'll never forget when I was in high school, there was a guy that we played against. He was like one of the top players in the state of California. This was the tee marker, and he literally teed the ball up right here. And I mean, it just looked like he was going to smash the tee marker with his driver. He swung back, and he absolutely crushed the ball, and all of us sat there just amazed, and we were all basically mentally fried from that point on. Not very good on our part. So on the tee box, so they've got the tee markers. I got 2 club lengths. I don't have to be back here. Do you have to put the ball on a tee? It's tee box. Do you have to put the ball on a tee?
You do not have to put the ball on a tee.
Okay. Just making sure. Yesterday I had some kids say yes, so just make sure you don't have to put the ball on a tee. Matter of fact, on a super windy day, way back when, I would actually hit a driver off of the ground because I hit a super high ball, and that's the only way I could hit it low was to basically skull it up the fairway. So that's important. Okay, let's see. Oh, Mr. Daniel, do you have the trivia question? I want to see if somebody else gets this. What's your tee box trivia, Daniel? He's got a good one here.
So I think it was 3 years ago in the Masters. A two-time major champion, former Masters champion, tees the ball up, goes to take a practice swing, accidentally hits the golf ball. It hits the tee marker and shoots up in the air and lands about 4 or 5 yards in front of it. He turns around, looks at his playing partners, and says, "What do I do now?" So what is the ruling on that scenario? It happened in a major championship. Roman, do you have your hand up?
No, sir.
Okay. Anybody know what happens there?
Was it a practice swing?
Yes, it was.
I think there was no penalty.
Oh, I am sorry, I muted you.
I think there's no penalty because he wasn't attempting to hit his ball.
Okay, because the ball was not what? It wasn't in play yet. So if the ball's not in play and you accidentally move it, it's not counting unless you were making an attempt to hit the ball. Now, anytime the ball's in play, if you accidentally move the ball, it's going to cost you, okay? So, but on the tee box, the ball's not in play, which – does anybody know who that was? Did we say? Nobody knows? He's one of the shorter hitters on tour. Really short, compact swing.
Really short stature as well.
He has the same last name as a guy who hits it a really long way, who's really tall. Nobody? Zach Johnson. So if you ever get to see that again, or you could actually probably go on YouTube and Zach Johnson's tee shot at the Masters and look at that. It's worth a pretty good chuckle to see that, to see a tour player. I'm talking world-class player, totally goof. And then, as Daniel was saying earlier this week, didn't have a clue on what the rule was. So that's really important that we understand what the rules are so we're not making mistakes. Those guys all have rules officials traveling with them, so they don't have to make too many decisions themselves. But, you know, it's pretty neat. Okay. Anybody have any questions for this week? So what if not, what I highly suggest is go back, rewatch this episode, go to our social media account, take a look at it, and go through the progression thing that we did there with the squats, the lunges, the planks, and the push-ups. And if you get up every day and you do that to start your day, and then before you go to bed at night, you do that again, I'm telling you, your fitness level is going to raise up dramatically. But more importantly, you're going to become a better golfer because your body is going to be more fit. You're going to be able to move faster, and that's what you want. So definitely take a look at that.
Muted. Sorry. Thank you guys so much for being on. A couple of quick reminders. Next Wednesday, we're having a college coach Q&A. So we have a couple of college golf coaches that are going to be on talking about different things that you may need to be aware of as you're prepping for your collegiate career possibilities. So just wanted to remind you of that. We'll also be sending out some stuff there. Follow us on social media. Keep up with all the accounts. If you missed any of our previous 3 weeks of virtual class stuff, you can go back and watch that at any point on our YouTube channel. So it's there for you to consume and use and just continue to glean from. If there's anything we can do for you, please let us know. About the only thing I can't help you with is getting a really cool pair of earphones like this. Because they're dope. They actually, you see that? Can you see them lighting up? Yeah, I know. Don't be jealous, guys. Don't be jealous. So have a great weekend.